Hello, those out there in the interwebs, on the YouTubes, vinyl community, people who like music, record people. I don't discriminate. Thanks for stopping on by and checking out the channel. Today it is the contest for MGK Boston, who's trying to get to 1 trillion subscribers. And so far, is it about 1/3 of a billion? So this little campaign here seems to be working, as far as I can tell. Gonna get into it. I'm entering into the contest here. I've got a couple of cats in the room. My wife's over there. I know you add more people, but Dana's just getting over a cold. She doesn't want to be on camera right now. And the cats, you know, I don't have a Colton, but we got a Pharaoh. And he's, sometimes he likes to be on camera. Sometimes he likes to hang out. Here's the orange one. Say hello to everybody. Say hi to Colton out there. Colton's kind of your, orange cat power. Orange cat's representing. He just wants me to put him down. Put me down. I don't want to be on camera. I don't know if that counts as a second entry, but there you go. 1 trillion subscribers. Okay, there's 10 questions. I'm going to go through these without any edits. I know. I'm trying to not spend too much time on these videos. Sometimes I go nuts for way too long and they're just edited. And then I'm frustrated because this is taking so long. Okay, number 1, vacation. Where do you like to go and where haven't you been? Where would you like to go? We like Vegas, right, love? Las Vegas. That's a place we've been numerous times. Doesn't get old, they keep adding new stuff, and we don't have the kind of money to just jump on a plane and go to Europe. So I've never been to Europe, neither has Dana. That'd be nice. But Vegas is kind of, it's a close second. Airfare there is cheap, usually rooms are pretty good price, so we would escape to Vegas I think we've been in there. Last time we went there was 2018.
Huntington Beach, Long Beach better.
Huntington Beach. Dana's a SoCal girl. You grew up in Oregon, but then...
Well, yeah,
born in
Downey, California.
Downey, California, that's right. So...
Which one of the...
Vinyl Richie from Downey, California. He had a Downey shirt. Yeah, Vinyl Richie.
Oh.
Yeah. He's from Downey, or coached baseball there or something. I'm not sure. If you're watching, Richie, let us know your relationship with Downey. Anyway, if that's interesting, throw it out there. All right. Where haven't we been? We'd like to go. New York City. It's kind of been on our bucket list. My wife and I have wanted to go to New York City for a long time. We've never been there. Rooms are expensive, but it would be really cool to go there. We've seen all the movies, love all the music. I'd love to see, where CBGB's is like a department store now or something, like a clothing store, but it's CBGB. Walk around the alley in the back. It's where the Ramones cover was taken, that album, and it just a lot of history. It would be great to visit New York City. And then, the UK. I'd love to go to the UK. I'm British. We did a DNA test, and I found out that just mostly British white people stuff sort of crushed some of our American dreams. Because there was always this thing in the family that we had some Indian blood, we were part Native American from a Umatilla tribe, which is a Central Oregon, Washington tribe. And, some of our blood was Umatilla blood. I'm like, oh, that's cool, Go to a powwow or something. That'd be awesome. And then these freaking Ancestry and 23andMe. It's just white people. It's just white people DNA. It's all we got. This was some folklore in our family. Would have been cool. I don't know. Maybe it's in there. Who knows? I don't know how DNA works. But British. We're very British. I'd love to see the homeland. I'd love to go to London and, try and Bob's your uncle, Try and get into that some. Sorry for any British people watching. Okay, question number 2. Name a solo artist that everyone else seems to like, but you can't stand. I saw Ben Rikens talking about this, and that would be mine as well as Van Morrison. Like, I just don't care. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna apologize again. Van Morrison, I'm just not a big fan. You know, I was influenced by Ben on that one. Another one, a guy I used to really like, and a lot of people maybe still like, I don't know, is David Lee Roth. I used to love David Lee Roth, and he was always funny. We'd go on shows like Letterman, and he's philosophizing. He was always a fun guy, he seemed like, back in the day. And he just became this sort of shitty old man. I don't know. He was like going after Wolfgang Van Halen and calling him names and, just being mean to the kid, just generally bullying the son of his guitar playing brethren, going on Joe Rogan. And I respect that he was an EMT. I think that's really cool. He stopped being a rock star and learned how to drive an ambulance and be a paramedic. That's amazing. And now that he's in his 70s, I don't know. He's just his relationship with Wolfgang is what really kind of set me off about the guy. So, number 3, name a band that everyone seems to love and that you can't stand. This will be a quick one because it's Yes. I just don't get it. I had a friend who was really into Yes, and he didn't get that I don't like them. And it's interesting that paradigm of watching somebody enjoy a thing, and that makes you kind of like it, right? Sometimes, like, you can catch it. And this guy, good friend of mine too, back in the day. I met him at work. We used to work pretty close to each other, and we became friends. And I've known him. Geez, that was when Nirvana's Nevermind was released. When that album was released, that's when I was working with my friend Scott. And Scott was really into Yes, and he'd play Yes a lot, and I just can't. So Yes, no, for me. Yes is a no. Moving along, number 4, show a jazz album. Got a lot of jazz albums. I figured I'd show this one. This is The Genius of Charlie Christian. This is a great record. Solo Flight, 1972, I believe this came out. It's a double LP, and there's a little clarinet in this record, which is awesome. I'll be honest, I don't mind some piano, but who doesn't like Bill Evans, right? I don't have a lot of Bill Evans records, just because I think my wife and I both agree on this. Like, the piano in jazz has just been done to death. You turn on one of these YouTube cool jazz, it's just mostly piano stuff. And while I like some of it, for me, it's just overdone. So, you know what? A little clarinet in your jazz, little horns. Another guy that Dana enjoys a little more than I do is Pete Fountain. Talk about clarinet. This guy is your clarinet dude, and I enjoy this music as well. This is some great jazz, southern type of stuff. Is some Dixieland in there? Some of his records are like that. This one isn't as much. On the Pickwick label right there. Good old Pete Fountain. We both like some Pete Fountain. Both these records we got for free, by the way. That's a whole playlist. During the pandemic, my wife found someone on OfferUp just giving away 40 records for no, 400 records, 40 records. I felt like 40 boxes. U-Haul boxes. There's a lot of U-Haul boxes full of records, and those were in there, and they're pretty good. Show a country and western album. All right. Heck, I'll be controversial. Why not? she won the Grammy, right? There she is, Cowboy Carter. Might as well share good old Beyonce. That's fun. Why not? Also, I did last video, I did cassette tapes. I found this. Good old John Denver's Rocky Mountain High on cassette, huh? I know this is supposed to be a vinyl thing, but I'll throw that in there. That's pretty cool. Good old John Denver. Number 6, show your favorite sports team or athlete of all time. Favorite sports team, you know, I'll tell you, being a Seattle Seahawks fan is hard, but been a Seahawks fan most all my life. I got this autographed by Jim Zorn and Steve Largent back in the day. It wasn't that long ago. This was I was an Uber driver for a while in the city of Seattle, and they had a thing, and sometimes they would do these things where it's like, hey, you want to meet some Seahawks? Come down to this place at this time, and we all went, Dana and I and her mom. I met them down there while my friend Tim, who's another driver, he was there. And I got this shirt signed. They gave me the shirt for free too, which is cool. And those two Seahawks legends were there and signed this shirt for me. I remember watching my dad. So I've lived here all my life, except for a few years in Alaska when I was a teenager. And so, yeah, it's been a long road with the Seahawks. Finally won in 2013. 13 being my lucky number. It was bound to happen. In 2013, we won the Super Bowl. But other than that, you know, it's just been a lot of, you know, ups and downs, and lately a lot of downs. So, look at sacks. I think we led in sacks. Anyway, I'll get off the sports talk for now. Share a concert memory. I have a lot of concert memories. I talked about my Rat Poison concert that we went to. I'll put that in the end screen. I did a whole video on that story. But I'll share a story from this tour that my buddy Dave and I, he's also in the Rat Poison story. We went to this concert, 85, at the Tacoma Dome, which was sort of new back then. And it was a great show. Had a great time. And my buddy Dave, his sister, was house sitting in Tacoma. And she had a few friends with her, right? So we're thinking, hey, your sister's got some friends over, you know, so no adult supervision, and we're just in the city, we're just in Tacoma. We got out, and so Dave, he had her phone number to call her, and she would come pick us up after the show. And somehow throughout the night, Dave lost her phone number. Okay, now nowadays that wouldn't be a big deal, but back in 1985, we had no idea how to get a hold of her, you know. So there we were, stuck in freaking Tacoma with nowhere to go, you know. And so we started hitchhiking home, and we walked. It was pretty late too. That show got out pretty late, so we got like on I-5. Hitchhiking, where it's illegal to do that, by the way. And we walked from like Tacoma all the way past Federal Way, and miles wise, I'd say, geez, it had to have been 10, 15 miles. It was like, you know, 3, 4 in the morning before somebody picked us up and dropped me off in Everett, and my mom came and got me. So I called my mom at like 4 in the morning or something like that. Mom, can you get me? I'm stuck here in Everett. And I lived way out in the lakes at that time. Hey, I live in Everett now, but I lived farther north out in the lakes. So there's a concert memory for you. That's, one of those stories that I'll never forget. I think we saw the band go by, it was like limousines going by, wow, wow, wow. And that's probably AC/DC. Just passed us by. What if they picked us up hitchhiking? That'd be a story. Didn't happen. Instead, it was a lot of walking and rain and got my steps in, so we'll count that as a win. All right, number 8, shout out a newer vinyl community channel. I don't know how new his channel is. It's been around for a while, I guess, but he is the channel is Chuck, and that's it, just Chuck. At Chuck's channel. I'll put a link in the description. And he talks about like string band stuff. My wife and I, we saw the Dead South at the Paramount Theater. Great string band. I don't know, bluegrass, that kind of stuff. To me, bluegrass is like the punk rock of country music. It's just really fast, but there is usually not a lot of percussion. With punk, you get a lot of more percussion, but it's fast like that. And some of the bands are a little, not so country as far as ideology and maybe philosophy is concerned. So I do enjoy that about bluegrass. Yonder Mountain String Band is another great band. He was just sharing all these great bands. One of the more darker bluegrass bands, Damn Gallows, or something like that. Goddamn Gallows, that's what it is. There's another good string. My favorite song of theirs is Y'all Motherfuckers Need Jesus. It's like, okay. Anyway, show an album by a Canadian artist. Show an album by a Canadian artist. Here's one of my, speaking of the 80s, back in the day, favorite Canadian band, Triumph. This is Allied Forces. Great freaking record. This one's still in great shape too. I need to put this in some cellophane or something before it gets dang ringware or something. They had a reunion in 2008. Pretty cool. Triumph. Love me some Triumph. Happy Birthday. Show an album that was released the year you were born. I had a pretty hot year for records and music, man. I was born in 1968. I'll share this one. I finally broke down and bought this repress. It sounds amazing. It's a great record. This is Electric Ladyland. Of course, Jimi Hendrix. Amazing freaking record. 1968. That was when Voodoo Child, I mean, there's just so many great songs on here. All Along the Watchtower, I believe, was the big song on the radio around the time that I, like popped out of there into the world. That song was playing, and it was like, welcome, Russ. All Along the Watchtower. Written by Bob Dylan, by the way. Speaking of, we did a video on seeing the movie. So that's it, man. That's all 10 records. So hopefully we get old MGK Buffalo up there to a trillion soon. And, I mean, he's just about surpassing Mr. Beast there. So I think this is working. Peace. Thanks for watching. Listen to me ramble. Appreciate you. And thanks for watching. That's it. Not too much editing. Peace. Till next time.